To get started, I guess I should introduce myself. If we haven't met, I'm Emily Nye. I'm with the Ventura County Resource Conservation District. Today's event, we are highlighting all of the free services and programs offered by agricultural organizations or just resource concerned organizations throughout the county. So we're trying to bring together producers and these supporting organizations to achieve two goals. One, to share the resources and information with you, so that you can understand our programs and we can support you and you can know what there is out there. And then the second is to gather feedback from producers so that way we can continue to provide services and programs that are meeting your needs and the needs of our community. So we'll start off with what I'm calling the core conservation partners. That'll be NRCS, UCANR, NRCS. All right, I already said that. Sorry, VCALG with the Farm Bureau and the RCD. We'll have a little time to network, break out, eat some food, and then we'll come back together and do kind of groups of Q&A sessions. So as a reminder, there's for those in person, there's a contact information sheet. So you don't have to be writing necessarily all of the information down that you see today. You should have the contact information on that form. And if you're online, we'll be emailing out those contact packets to all of you. So just before we get started, I just wanted to briefly introduce our four main core conservation partners. So the Farm Bureau is the voice of Ventura County ag planning and policy discussions. Each of our four organizations really complements each other. We do different things, but our work is very much interconnected. And so if one of us doesn't know how to answer a question or doesn't provide a service, probably one of the other three organizations does. So Jody is going to represent the Ventura County Agricultural Irrigated Lands Group today, talking about growers complying with state and federal water quality regulations. And UCANR Cooperative Extension, we have several advisors and specialists from UC that are going to be talking about the various programs and technical assistance and educational opportunities that they offer. NRCS, non-regulatory federal organization, and they're going to talk about some of their conservation, technical assistance, and financial assistance that they offer. And then the Ventura County Resource Conservation District, VCRCD. We're going to also non-regulatory special district. We operate like a nonprofit. We're going to talk about our open programs as well. So we're going to start with Jody with VCALG.
Good morning, everybody. Like Emily said, my name is Jody Schweitzer. I'm the Water Program Director with the Farm Bureau of Ventura County. I'm going to try to cover in about 7 minutes or so what I normally cover in an hour and a half or 2 hours. So I'm going to show some slides of some maps, and then I'm going to talk about a new regulatory driver that we refer to as TMDLs. So they stand for Total Maximum Daily Load. And these are additional regulatory layers that apply in certain watersheds where there's an impairment. The water quality standard is exceeding the standards required by the beneficial use of that water body. And what I really want you to take from this kind of short presentation is noting down any questions that you want to dive into deeper when we do our breakout sessions, but also to underscore the services that a lot of these other organizations can provide to you to help you meet some of these requirements. So I'm going to go through watershed by watershed so that you can kind of keep in mind, this is where my farming operation is, and you can note the TMDLs that would apply to your area. So starting first with the Ventura River watershed, see if I can we go right here. So this is the Ojai area, and there are two TMDLs that apply here. There's the Ventura River LG, eutrophic conditions and nutrients. So that's focusing on nitrogen and phosphorus. as well as the Ventura River Estuary Trash TMDL. So those are the two that apply in the Ventura River watershed. And then in the Santa Clara River watershed, this is where we start to get this overlapping effect of multiple TMDLs, some of which apply throughout an entire watershed, some of which apply only to areas that are draining to certain reaches of a river. So what you see here in red, this is the area that's covered by the Santa Clara River nitrogen compounds TMDL. In orange here, this is where the Santa Clara River bacteria TMDL applies. And then this yellow area, so right kind of on the county line, this is where we have the upper Santa Clara River chloride TMDL. And then outlined in yellow is where the Santa Clara River estuary toxaphene TMDL applies. So for this yellow area right here, we have the nitrogen compound, the bacteria, and the chloride TMDL that all apply within this area. Here, we've only got nitrogen. Here we've got nitrogen and bacteria. And then here we've got nitrogen and toxaphene. So we get this kind of overlapping effect. And then moving south to the Santa Clara River watershed, the entire area outlined in purple. There are a few TMDLs that apply to this entire area, and that's the, I'm sorry, did I say Santa Clara River? This is the Cayugas Creek watershed. Cayugas Creek nitrogen compounds, Cayugas Creek toxicity, chlorpyrifos and diazinon TMDL, and the OC, so that's your legacy pesticides, and PCBs apply everywhere throughout the watershed. And then this brown area, we have an additional TMDL that applies, and that's the salts TMDL. Then where you see green, we additionally have the metals and selenium TMDL that applies. And then this outlined yellow area, we additionally have the Revlon Slough and Beardsley Wash trash TMDL. And then this small coastal area outlined in red here, that's the Oxnard drain number 3, pesticide, PCBs, and sediment toxicity TMDL. And the last area is a coastal subwatershed that drains to the McGrath Lake. And that is the McGrath Lake OC pesticides and PCBs TMDLs. So those are all the areas where TMDLs apply in Ventura County. And when we do our breakout sessions, I can pull up Google Earth and we can kind of look at that again in more detail if you wanted to see your ranch area. And when there is, in my next slide, I'll kind of, actually I might go this first. So what happens when we have a water quality exceedance in one of those TMDL areas is that growers in the area being represented by VCALG's monitoring site would now be subject to discharge limitations for whatever exceeded, and they would have to choose one of the following 2 compliance pathways. So either choose track 1, where they do individual sampling at the edge of their farm or ranch for the constituent that exceeded, or track 2, and that's an implementation focused pathway. So track 2 is where you would work with a technical service provider like RCT or NRCS or an equivalent professional expert. And we've got a list of some possible consultancies or professionals that you can work with as well. But you would work with that technical service provider to develop a management practice plan for your farm or ranch. And I'll go back really quick. So the areas that have exceeded and have already received notification that their area is now subject to these requirements are the areas here in red. So we've got the upper portion of the Cayugas Creek watershed, lower portion of the Cayugas Creek watershed, kind of the southeastern Oxnard Plain area, the McGrath Lake subwatershed, and then a Ventura River coastal subwatershed. VCALG is out there sampling 4 times a year, so we are continuing to receive sampling results. And as we continue receiving sampling results, there are some exceedances that are going to trigger these requirements in other areas. So likely within the next 6 months, approximately, depending on the regional board's schedule, we're going to have some areas in the Santa Clara River that are going to exceed for nitrate because we've already received those results and reported those to the regional board. So we're just waiting for those to be confirmed before we can notify those folks. So what I want you to take away from here is that even if you're not in one of the red areas that have already received a notification, you might down the road. So you want to make sure that you are working with these technical service providers and are ready to meet these requirements when they apply to you. So really quickly, I already mentioned who prepares a monitoring and reporting plan and the key components. And so I'm focusing here on track 2, your management practice plan. Sorry, even I'm messing up the acronyms here. Your track 2 management practice plan. So these are the things that the plans that these folks can help you with. The key components here are a review of field conditions. So what crops are you growing, your cultivation methods, your drainage pattern to your farm or ranch, an inventory of existing management practices. So what are you currently doing on farm? And then some recommendations for additional or enhanced management practices. So that's where those technical service providers come in, is they review your operation, your farm or ranch, and they make some recommendations for additional things you can do. You demonstrate how those will reduce the pollutant loads and meet the TMDL water quality allocations. You implement those recommended management practices within the required timeframes, and then you would develop an operation and maintenance plan to ensure that those management practices continue to be effective. So we'll go over this in more detail when we do our breakout groups. We've got lots of resources on the Farm Bureau website. Go to farmbureauvc.com, VCALG, TMDLs, and you'll see this whole list of links and resources that can help answer a lot of questions. So note your questions and we'll talk more in those breakout groups. Thanks, everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nikki Oliveros, and I am with UCANR Cooperative Extension. I'm a community education specialist in Climate Smart Ag, and I'm here to introduce our lovely array of crop advisors. First, and are we doing the presentation right now? Yes, okay. So first, I'll introduce Andre Biscaro. He's our irrigation and nutrient management advisor. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, good morning. Let me get a feel for the group. How many tree crop growers are there here? Vegetable crop growers? Okay. Berry growers? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so majority tree crop growers. So I work primarily with irrigation and nutrient management of vegetable and berry crops. So my work is primarily in providing technical assistance in irrigation, nutrient management, salinity to these crops. So some specific topics of interest or projects that I have worked with lately is nitrogen fertilization optimization, meaning applying the right rate at the right time for different crops, obviously, but also identifying or defining crop removal coefficients to address this regulatory requirement from nitrogen management irrigation and nitrogen management report that Jody mentioned and we'll be talking later. Salinity management, optimal use of soil moisture sensors, the effect of irrigation regimes on soil-borne diseases. So I'm not sure if you guys know, but the more water stress the crop is, either too much water, too little water, the more prone that crop will be to develop a disease, right? Also, I'm interested in creating online decision support tools. So we have two tools that address irrigation and nutrient management. One is Crop Manage. Maybe you guys heard about it. And the other one is a new irrigation app. The links are a bit funny right now, but they should be separated in here. So this is the irrigation app, and this is Crop Manage. So, well, I'll see you guys in a bit.
And next, we have Oleg Dalgovich, and he is our strawberry and vegetable crop advisor.
Thanks, Nikki. Good morning. I just wanted to mention kind of a big picture. Our office has been here for 110 years. Not all of us been here that long, except maybe Ben. But things change over time, and we've been doing all kind of work all over the years and looking at pests, looking at weeds, looking at fumigant emissions, looking at new diseases, old diseases. Some things never go away. More regulations come our way. It's always been a complex mix of problems that anybody who farms knows that exist. And our job was to live here in Ventura County and work for the benefit of Ventura County. We're all university employees. We're not on campus. It's hard to explain. Not in Davis, not in Riverside. We work with all the people in university and beyond university, other universities, everybody else really. But our job was to live here and work for the benefit of the county. And so what we do here is we listen to what you got going on, your issues, and try to do replicated studies that have a quality data, quality information to pass to you back. We have it all on the websites. We feed UCIPM, which is the best probably in the world, a pest management website for every pest and every crop that we have in California at least. Here are some examples. We work with diamondback moth that eats our cole crops. We work with nutsedge, one of the worst weeds in the world. We looked at celery, our number one vegetable crop, and how it dies from fusarium and screening new varieties for it and finding some good resistance too. We're looking at strawberry pathogens that kill our strawberries, especially with our fumigants. I think I have one more slide. A lot of things going on. I want you to show one example before I move on. We're going to work in this technology called anaerobic infestation of soil. It's a non-chemical organic fumigation system. And it works really well. And it's been adopted by over 1,000 acres in organic systems, but it's too expensive. And so we're looking for using waste, dehydrated food waste as a resource for this technology, collected from local school districts, dehydrated, use it both as disinfectant and fertilizer for our berries, which are our number one crop here in Ventura County. And that's been going pretty well. Just an example, it's always something exciting to do, and it's always something, our objective is to do something more cost-effective for the growers because they always want to lower their production costs, right? Anyway, that's I think that's all I got. We could talk more later, but I think it turned over to Ben. Is it right?
Next, we have the legend, Ben Faber, who is our soils, water, and subtropicals advisor.
Good morning. I've been here 35 years, and the university keeps asking, what impact have you had on this community? And, a lot of work has been done here. And we started out with avocado root rot, and we developed the whole system of mulching and berming and rootstocks that are resistant and chemicals. And that system works really well. And it's been adopted by people in Chile and Colombia. Almond growers have adopted it in the Central Valley. So it's like it's moved out from Ventura, where we've done this work. Currently, we're working on looking at hydrogels to control Argentine ant. Once you control Argentine ant in citrus, well, and in cherimoya, mealybug is just terrible in cherimoya. Once you control Argentine ant, you control scale and mealybug and aphids and Asian citrus psyllid. And so that's being developed right now in this county. And Oleg mentioned we collaborate with UC Davis and UC Riverside and Cal Poly Pomona and San Luis Obispo. And so we've got a network that allows us to kind of magnify the work that we do here in Ventura County. Yeah, it takes a long time to get some of this stuff done. So I am available for growers for consultation, but a lot of the work I do is through the pest control advisors that are in Ventura, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo County. So, they'll say, I got some problem here. And so once they learn how to recognize the problem and correct it, then they go out to the growers and they kind of spread the word about how to control things. So we do research. I do work through the California Avocado Society, through the Avocado Commission, through the Citrus Research Board. So we collaborate a lot with other organizations. We have the Master Gardener program in our office. We have the 4-H office program in our office. So we've got kind of fingers throughout the community. So we'll be around to answer any questions later. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I just wanted to add there are two advisors that couldn't be here today. One is Hamutal Cohen, and she's our entomology advisor. Does amazing work. And the other is Emma Voke, and she is our production horticulture advisor.
All right, I'm Brooks Englehart. I work for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Natural Resources Conservation Service, and we have an office in almost every county around the country, but here in California, almost every county. And so our office here, we cover Ventura County and the Santa Monica Mountains of Los Angeles County. But basically all of our work, everything we do, the basis for our work is conservation planning. And we do that with that's where we work with individual farmers and ranchers, and also forest land stewards. We also do work in forestry areas. So in this county, it'd be oak woodland, riparian woodland. We work with the farmer to develop a conservation plan for their farm. Everyone who calls us there's usually a specific need that they're looking for improvement in. A lot of times it could be irrigation or soil erosion. So we start with that point. We have some cost share programs, but the conservation plan is the basis for the assistance. And we have a multidisciplinary approach. We have within our just area 4, we have agronomy, biology, engineering is a huge component of what we do, forestry and range, and then we have soils. And so the resource concerns we address is all the natural resource concerns on the farm. So soil, water, air, plants, and animals. So in soil, we look at, the two aspects of soil erosion and also the soil health or soil quality aspect. So there are many practices that we can do to address those. Water, we look at two primary components. One is the water use, irrigation efficiency, looking at the whole system and the management itself. And the other is the water quality. So minimizing runoff and deep leaching. So try to keep everything on farms. Air quality, that's something we work with here. Dust, and also the ozone precursors. We do have a program for engine replacement for cleaner burning engines. Plants, we look at productivity and composition. So that's oftentimes on rangeland or forest land. And there's also in the fuel management component. And we work with livestock producers, whether that's on rangeland or pasture, and also the animal feeding operations or feedlots, horse boarding facilities. So those are the feedlot situation, primarily water quality and engineering. For livestock production on rangeland, it's to protect the resource base of the rangeland itself. So we also address inadequate water for cattle or whatever livestock you're working with, and feed forage balance. And then there's a wildlife habitat. There are a lot of producers are interested in wildlife habitat, and just even just margins of areas can help benefit that. And then energy efficiency, we primarily work with pumps, pumping plant efficiencies. We have two programs that we primarily work with under the Farm Bill. One is the Environmental Quality Incentives Program. That's addressing specific resource concerns, specific practices. So like, irrigated agriculture, everyone already has an irrigation system. We can work with the farmer to improve that system or replace it if needed. It's just one example. But we have over 100 conservation practices that touch on all those resource concerns of soil, water, air, plants, and animals. So I just put a list of practices that we commonly work with: irrigation system and management, nutrient management and soil testing, cover cropping, mulching, compost. So all these practices can address a whole host of resource concerns. And then in the rangeland, forest land, wildlife areas, we also work with that. So rangeland, we do anything that can help improve grazing management, any structural practices needed for that, and also vegetative practices. Then on the forestry side, we are working with like an oak woodlands for oak regeneration, protecting legacy oaks and trying to encourage recruitment of the younger oaks, and then also in the riparian areas. And that's it for my presentation. So I'm going to be teaming up with Emily at our question and answer session, and Daisy. So, but this is our locally our office here. Me, Brooks Englehart, Jordan Atmore. He's a soil conservationist. Many of you know him. He works with a lot of people. We have Christine Chavez. She's our outreach coordinator. We have Justin. He's an engineer. Heijin Lee's an engineer. Many of you know her. She covers many counties around Southern California, but she's based in our office. That's it. Thank you.
All right, I was told I wasn't loud enough, so I'll hopefully speak a little louder this time. I just want to introduce the Ventura County Resource Conservation District. We're a non-regulatory special district. We collaborate with landowners, government agencies, and willing partners to facilitate the conservation and restoration of Ventura County's natural resources for current and future generations. Our strategic priorities include water resources. Cool. Thank you. That's us. Our strategic priorities include water resources, fire preparedness, soil and climate resilience, invasive and resistant species, land resource management, wildlife habitat, education and outreach, and more. So today we have, this is just our ag focused team. And then we have others focused on our other priority areas. So I'm Emily. Today we also have Christina with us, Coco, Alex, and John, and Jamie in the crowd. Everybody knows Jamie. The work we do is dependent on grant funding, and the grant programs and community support allows us to help farmers and ranchers and nurseries with both financial and technical, free technical assistance. So we're trying to help you address your resource concerns that you're identifying. So if there's something that a resource concern that you have, we want to hear about it. So we're applying for the right kind of funding to continue to help you. Right now, we're working on 13 different grant programs with the agricultural team, and we have several that are open for applications still for farmers to work with us. They are highly competitive with limited funding, so just be aware. And we do have bilingual technical assistance available. John, Alex, and Alicia Miramontes, our administrative coordinator, all provide bilingual technical assistance. So John's going to take it away with the next programs.
Hi, everyone. My name's John, and I am part of the water resource team here at the Ventura County RCED. And we have 2 water resource grants that we're going to be talking about today. And the first one is going to be AQUA, which is short for Agricultural Environmental Water Quality Assistance Grant. Now, this grant is meant to improve groundwater quality. And by doing so, we are trying to reduce the amount of runoff on your field, but also we are trying to improve the quality of that water that is being ran off from your field. And to an extent, we are also trying to improve your efficiency on your farm. Now, this grant is going to help you by covering 60% of the cost of the material for any on-farm improvement that is in correlation with improving groundwater quality. And some of these practices that are eligible include things like cover cropping, mulching. Some of the bigger things are going to be like replacing old water filters, adding tailwater recovery systems, or adding soil moisture sensors into the ground. There is a list of that I have here, a little flyer that has all the eligible practices. So during the breakout session, if you want to talk to me about that, we can go in more depth. Alex, you want to talk? Alex is going to be talking about the irrigation evaluations next.
Hello, as previously mentioned, my name is Alexander. I'm new with VCRCD, so I'm looking forward to meeting and working with all of you. So the Water Efficiency Technical Assistance Grant, also known as WETA, aims to provide free irrigation evaluations to farmers with the goal of improving or making your irrigation system more efficient. So what is an irrigation evaluation and how does that happen? During an irrigation evaluation, we examine this irrigation system for a block of your orchard. We collect a few different data points along your irrigation system, such as pressure and volume. And we do this multiple times throughout your irrigation system to collect multiple data points, around 30 to 40 different sections of your irrigation system. After this site visit, we'll calculate the distribution uniformity of your irrigation system. If it's rather low, we will provide recommendations on how you can improve that, how to improve the water being delivered all evenly across your orchard, as well as any recommendations on how to repair your system. Oftentimes during these site visits, we'll see rodents chewing through polytube or mismatched emitters maybe. So we'll recommend to maybe improve that to help the efficiency on your on-farm irrigation system. And yeah, that's WETA.
All right. And those irrigation evaluations we can do on orchards and row crops and in nurseries. So everybody come to us if you want a irrigation evaluation when we put you on the wait list. All right, the next programs Christina and I are deeply embedded in are first the Healthy Soils program. This is a California Department of Food and Agriculture grant. Essentially, it's a flat rate reimbursement program for farmers to implement conservation practices. So that could be anything from cover crop and mulch to hedgerows and windrows to compost application. There's quite a number of options. And if you're interested, we can discuss those. There is limited funding left. Farms who apply, the more you do, the more you could be paid. So up to $200,000, but that's usually a very large and numerous projects happening on your operation. The next grant opportunity we have available for farmers is to help we write carbon farm plans. And what that is essentially we come on site and talking with you, looking at the land, identify some resource concerns you have, and then prescribe practices to help address those concerns. And then by chance, those practices that we recommend also have a carbon sequestration benefit. They also have water savings benefits most often. So it's cool to know what the carbon sequestration is, but really there's a lot of other benefits that we care about as farmers. And those are just recommendations that might feed into future projects that might address ag order concerns as well. The third program that we have open right now that Christina and I are primarily working on is the Organic Transition Program. I'm almost out of time. And this program offers financial and technical assistance for producers in their 3-year organic transition period. And the funding amount depends on the size of your operation in part, but both Rodale Institute, who'll be speaking later, and Ventura County RCD have this grant and are working with farmers in Ventura County. So next, Coco will speak on our relief programs.
Whoa. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Coco Nakano. I'm with RCD, and I'm up here to just wrap up the conversation by talking about our 2 relief grant opportunities that we have. The first one is for drought relief, and the second one is for extreme weather. I'm going to talk about them at the same time because they have the exact same eligibility and general grant details. So for both grants, farmers who meet certain eligibility criteria are able to apply for up to $20,000 in award funding. This is a reimbursement style grant. So you are able to apply for drought related expenses or losses that you may have incurred since 2017. For extreme weather, that's extreme weather related expenses or losses that you've incurred since 2017. Both of these grants are housed under CDFA's California Underserved and Small Producers Program. So the eligibility does relate to the size of your farm. In this case, there's a threshold of $400,000 in total gross annual revenue. That's the maximum. And if you are below that threshold, you are eligible to apply. If you're a dairy operation, the threshold is $1 million instead of $400K. But the same eligibility applies for both of these. Just to quickly name some opportunities and expenses and losses that are eligible in both of these grants include things like crop loss and updates to your well pump if specifically for the drought relief program. Extreme weather encompasses all the other extreme weather events that aren't drought. So that might be things like wildfire or flooding or wind damage and all that jazz. There's a lot of details on our website about the different eligible practices that can be applied for reimbursement. Documentation for both of these programs is a big part of it. So I'm happy to chit chat more about what that looks like in the Q&A portion. All of our grant opportunities in your packets are on the backside of the VCRCD one-pager. So on there, you'll find all the contact information by grant opportunity and links and all that. That's what it looks like on the one-pager, and it's on the back of ours. Okay, and I'm gonna knock it back to Emily to wrap us up and move us into the next section of presentations.
All right. So we're looking forward to working with all of you. It is the busy season for everyone. But yeah, please check out our website and our resources for more information on each of the open available grants at this time. And we'll be putting more information on our website as more grants come up. And you can also sign up for our newsletter, and then you'll get up-to-dates through that as well. And then we do have a lot of really great restoration and fire and education team members, and they're doing programs that also relate to ag. They're just not here today. So if you're interested in things like fire preparedness and prescribed burns, check out Kevin and Lauren on our fire team. But we're going to open it up to our next section, which is our partner highlights. We're going to have 14 organizations kind of do high level overview of their programs that they're offering to farmers and ranchers in the county. So these are organizations dedicated to providing educational, technical, financial resources. So each one has their own kind of niche. And so we're going to start off with the USDA Farm Service Agency.
Hello, everyone. I'm Daisy Banda. I'm the County Executive Director for Santa Barbara and Ventura County, and I work with the Farm Service Agency, which is one of the many agencies under the USDA. Specifically, my side of the FSA is farm programs, but we also offer farm loans. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more. So I have a couple notes here. Getting started with FSA is just getting to know what we have and how we can help you. Just give us a call. The most important thing is letting us know that you're around. We can set you up with a farm number. And then in the instance that a disaster happens or a new program opens up, we'll have a better chance of getting a hold of you or reaching out to you. We also have, like I mentioned, farm programs, and our agency is a little unique in that we have county office committees. So it's made up of ranchers and farmers in the area, and they're like your voice. And they're the ones that, when we take applications or certain cases that might have a little bit not in our expertise as like just regular office workers, we look to our farmers and ranchers for their input. And then we have FSA loans, and then we'll talk about questions during the breakout. So like I mentioned, when you want to get started, you notify us. We basically find out if you're an individual or an entity. We set you up with the farm. We also tell you about our partner organizations like Brooks with NRCS or Rural Development, which is housing. And then if you want to know a little bit more about the types of programs we have, you could always go to farmers.gov. These are just some of the programs that we had. I tried to put the most important ones up there, or at least the ones that we do most in Ventura and Santa Barbara County. I think at the top of the list in ours right now is probably the tree assistance program, since we had that wildfire in the end of December or beginning of December. We have had a lot of interest in that program. It basically helps producers replant or rehabilitate their orchards. We also have programs when there's drought, like the livestock forage program and the emergency livestock assistance program. And then we offer insurance when private insurance is not available through your private insurance companies. We can help you. So a lot of like row crops like veggies like squash or peas, we're able to insure. There are some upcoming deadlines. Most importantly is the acreage reporting deadline, which is around the corner. That is mostly for our rangeland producers. That's just the deadline to let us know how many acres you have. And like I said, having a farm and knowing that you're there will open up the door to a lot of our programs. So if you want to report your acreage, let us know. We can put you on the list. It's not too late. And then NAP, most of the crops that we cover in Santa Barbara and Ventura County, the date to sign up is September 1st. So that's around the corner as well. And then for LFP and ELAP, that you still have time. That's for any disasters that happen during the year. And they extended the deadline for those programs until March 1st of next year. So as I mentioned, we have the county office committee. It's a board of our farmers and ranchers. In my office, we have 5 LAAs, LA 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see them on this map. Elections happen every year and terms are 3 years. This year, the LAA that's up for election is LAA 3, and the nomination deadline is August 1st. So if you know a farmer or rancher in that LAA that you think would be a good representative, feel free to nominate them. I can give you a nomination form. And then most people are interested in the FSA loans that we offer. We offer quite a bit. We have farm ownership, operating, microloans, and emergency loans. And we also work with other banks under guaranteed loans. And these are just some of the different descriptions of those programs. So you can ask me more about loans or programs when we break out, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. I think that's it. And thank you.
Good morning. My name is Greta Varian. I am the Chief Deputy Agriculture Commissioner for the Ventura County Department of Agriculture Weights and Measures. So I'm going to give you an overview of what we do. We have 29 programs. We work under the direction of our commissioner, Corinne Bell, and we're the local regulatory agency for agriculture, meaning we enforce all the laws and regulations that are on the books. So we work under the umbrella of the California Department of Food and Agriculture, the USDA, and then also the Department of Pesticide Regulation and the EPA. So we have an umbrella enforcement where we enforce federal, state, and local laws and regulations. So we have 5 programs in our department, which our 29 programs fall under these divisions. The most staffed program we have is the pesticide use enforcement. So anytime you need a license or a QAL, you come into our office and we get you licensed with the Department of Pesticide Regulation. And then we also do all of the pesticide investigations in the county. So surveillance, or if we get a complaint from a resident, or we just go out and survey the fields and make sure everybody's following the pesticide laws and regulations. Then we have our weights and measures department. So this is a new division to our department. We merged with weights and measures in 2022. We are the last county in the state to do so. So weights and measures is a program not a lot of farmers know we have. And we go out to all facilities that may weigh or measure any kind of commodity. So we go to Vaughn's and ensure packaging is weighed right. We go to the gas pumps and make sure you're getting a gallon of gas when you pump a gallon of gas. And then we also make sure that price verification is correct. So if you go to Target and it says it's on sale for $2.99 and you go to the register and it's the price is $4.99, you can register that complaint with our office and we go out and investigate that. Then we have a consumer protection program, which is our farmers markets. We certify every farmer selling at a certified farmers market. We go out to their land and verify that they're selling what they say they're selling, or they're growing what they say they're growing. So the farmers markets, we do all the organic registration in the county, and then we do let's see, that program also has some pest management programs in it. So it's our glassy wing sharpshooter program where we go to the nurseries and inspect for the glassy wing sharpshooter on all nursery stock. And then we also are in that program, we do our pest detection. So any pests that might be moving into the county, like the gold spotted oak borer, we're out trapping for those. And then we have our pest exclusion program, which is ensuring that no pests come into the county. So we're at terminals every day. We're at FedEx, UPS, the post offices, inspecting all packages that come in, and ensure that we're not having any pests come into the county. And then we do nursery inspections. So we are out at the nurseries every day, ensuring that nurseries aren't transporting pests all over the state and county. And then lastly, we have our environmental resource management program. I have our environmental resource analyst, Alec, with us. So he is our specialist on all things. And this is the program that we like to say is not as regulatory. It's a catch-all for all our other programs. So Alec does land use planning. He does any right to farm ordinance complaints. We can mitigate some of those. We take those calls. We do a lot of ordinance writing. Right now, we're working on the overnight camping ordinance with the county. And then the Williamson or the LCA Act is in our department now. That just got moved over from the county RMA. And then Alec works on a lot of our grants, our SELC grant. We did a tree replacement for the Asian citrus psyllid program we run. So I don't think that covers all 29 of our programs, but I really don't think everybody understands. We do as much as we do. So we'll be here for the question and answers, and we'll go over anything in detail that you have. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tommy Winning. I work with the Monitoring Division of the Ventura County Air Pollution Control District. Monitoring Division is primarily in charge of ambient air monitoring all across Ventura County, and those include criteria pollutants such as ozone, PM2.5, PM10, NOx, things of that nature. But another thing that we're involved in is the agricultural burn program, and that runs through the Monitoring Division as well. So essentially, kind of an elevator pitch of the burn program. So any sort of agricultural operation that has any sort of waste, whether it's ag trimmings, field trimmings, or you're replacing an entire orchard and you're getting rid of all of the trees, you have the right to agricultural burn during certain times of the year. We work very closely with the Ventura County Fire Department in order to make this thing work. So essentially, there's no fee to attain a burn permit. That's kind of unique for Ventura County. A lot of other counties with their burn programs, there is a fee associated with it. They're one-page permit, required fields on the permit, so applicant signature, name, number, location of burn, material to be burned, so citrus, avocado, things of that nature, amount of material. So typically, this is all going to be placed in piles. And so like an idea of the size of the pile, total tonnage, and there'll be an expiration date. So typically when a burn permit is issued by the Ventura County Fire Department, it's good for a window of time, sometimes 2, 3, maybe even 6 months. But you have within that time that the permit is good to be burned. If there is an issue, say if it's issued late in the season, something to that effect, or maybe it runs out of time, you can have that permit renewed. There's just basically might be another inspection just to make sure that nothing has been added to what the permit was initially written for. Additional fire department requirements. So typically anything that's written on the permit becomes part of the permit. So a lot of times, depending on the location, so location, say maybe to power lines or smoke sensitive areas, that's always a tough one, because a lot of times when you have this interface between the agricultural community and then housing developments, that can sometimes run a bit of an issue with the smoke sensitive receptors. So that's always something that we try to work with and pay attention to as well. And then there'll be a signature that's put on it. And again, this is from basically the closest Ventura County fire station to the location of where the ag burn will be performed at. Typically, a couple other parts of it that ag burn season usually runs through from usually January to the end of May. But obviously, though it's weather permitting this year, obviously January we were kind of shut out with all the dry weather and the wind. We have to adhere to specific conditions in terms of the amount of rainfall, the amount of wind during a given day, relative humidity, mixing heights, and things of that nature to ensure good smoke dispersion throughout the county. You can contact us multiple ways. So you can email me directly. We do have an automated burn line that is updated every day between 4 and 5 o'clock. You can call a burn line that people will answer the phone with any questions or to activate a permit on a burn day. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Nextdoor, or on our website, where you can get more regulatory information for the burn program and many other things that you might need. So again, as a quick cover, we can talk about it more during the breakout session. So thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel Murguia. I also work with the Ventura County Air Pollution Control District. However, I'm under the Incentives Division, and today I'm here to inform you guys about some of the incentive programs that we have available to the community. So a brief overview, these are all the incentive programs that we offer. However, I'll be highlighting the Carl Moyer, CAP, and Farmer programs, as they are more geared towards the agricultural community here in Ventura County. If you have any questions about the other programs that we offer, feel free to ask myself or my colleague Danny during the breakouts. So the main purpose of the Carl Moyer, CAP, and Farmer program is to reduce emissions by replacing older diesel equipment with newer, cleaner diesel equipment or zero emission equipment. So some of the pieces of equipment that we replace could be tractors, forklifts, loaders, backhoes, pump engines, and UTVs. One of the big requirements that we have is that the replacement piece of equipment has to be like for like of the baseline equipment. On these pictures up on the screen, this is from a previous project where we replaced an older 1997 tractor with a newer 2024 tractor, and they're essentially like for like, four-wheel drive. They have canopy, ROPS, weights in the front. So that's one of the biggest requirements that we have. For the first-time applicants, you can request up to 80% of the funding for eligible cost. If you're a returning applicant, you could request up to 70% of cost. So the application cycle opens from late March, early April, and runs through June every year. So that means, unfortunately, this year our cycle is closed, but we will be back next year. And this program is very competitive. We only fund the projects that are the most cost effective, meaning that we would like to pay the least amount for the most emissions reduced. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to come up to myself or my colleague Danny. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me, or do I need to lean in more? We're good? Okay. I'm also going to set a timer because I know we have a timekeeper, but I'll probably ignore it and just keep talking and take up the next few people's time. So my name is Stephen Watson. I'm the Executive Director of Ventura Regional Fire Safe Council. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that is all focused on wildfire safety and preparation for communities. We're heavily involved in community engagements, very grassroots approach. And what I'll do right now, since there's only a few minutes to talk about this, is give a high-level overview of the services and things that we offer to the communities. And everything we offer is no cost. We're grant funded almost entirely. So one of the most impactful programs we have is our home wildfire assessment program. We can send out a trained assessor to people's properties, walk around their structures with them, and provide them a report on the wildfire vulnerabilities and the changes and recommendations they can make to make their homes and their structures safer. We have had some of our assessors go out to ranchers and farmers and assess their structures on site and give them some recommendations or ideas. We have neighborhood chipping programs, Firewise USA program, which many of you may have heard about. We have 33 Firewise recognized communities in Ventura County. Just a few years ago, we only had 2. So it's a program that's really up and running. There are insurance discounts available as well for Firewise communities. So that's been a big pull. Another big thing that we've been doing is wildfire planning. We work on community wildfire protection plans. And I'm most interested being here with farmers, ranchers, kind of the ag community to learn what those needs are. What are the areas and gaps in planning with wildfire that we can help out with and assist with? What are the programs that are missing, the services, and the information and education? I've got about a minute left here. I want to go on a little tangent with the time that I have. Our organization was formed in 2009, and it was by farmers and ranchers. Chief Bob Roper at the time, he said we need a fire safe council. So ranchers like Rich Atmore, Charlotte Crocker, they came together and made this fire safe council. And a lot of our services at the time were based on ag communities. We did ranch plans, we did the Ag Pass program back in the day. And I think now we're very focused on communities neighboring the wildland-urban interface, residents. And I think we want to get back with the ag community and learn what those needs are and work with you to kind of address that as well. I want to give a quick shout out. There are a ton of amazing resources here. We work with the Ventura County Resource Conservation District and the Wildfire Collaborative on these regional prioritization plans. And we're hosting a bunch of workshops throughout the county, and we want feedback. We want feedback from you all to know what's missing in this planning, what projects we need to prioritize and identify. And I'm just about 3 minutes here, but I will be at the panel in the regulation and safety. We had our amazing and intelligent programs manager who is going to be on the panel, but is sick, so you're stuck with me. And I know Ventura County Fire is here as well, so they may be able to answer the questions that I can't. So thank you so much.
That's going to go by both tables. If you're not, just pass it on. So hi, everyone. My name is Katharina Ullman. I work with the UC Organic Agriculture Institute, and I'm so glad you are all here today. Hola, me llamo Katharina Ullman y trabajo en el Instituto de Agricultura Orgánica de la Universidad de California. Gracias por estar aquí hoy. The University of California Organic Agriculture Institute is part of UC-ANR. So you heard from some of my colleagues earlier today, Ben, Oleg, and others. We are a statewide institute. I'm actually based out of Davis, California, near Sacramento, but I have colleagues in San Luis Obispo and San Diego. And as an institute, our mission is to serve as a hub for producers, researchers, advocates, consumers, and supporting industries to advance research, extension, and education that assists the wide diversity of California certified, transitioning, and aspiring organic producers to reach their goals. We do this in a number of different ways. So we host workshops, field days, and collate and develop extension materials. We have a mentorship and demonstration site program. So if you are a certified organic producer, you can be part of the demonstration network, or you can be paid to mentor someone who's interested in becoming certified. If you're interested in becoming certified, you can actually get funding to travel to visit your mentor. I highly recommend this program. And then finally, we offer technical assistance related to organic certification, organic production, and then also help in writing and developing organic system plans, which are needed for organic certification. And we rely heavily on our extended network of colleagues, amazing colleagues within the University of California Extension Program, but also all of our amazing colleagues, both at the state, federal, county, and nonprofit organizations. So I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you so much. And I hope you're learning as much as I am today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Annemiek Schilder, and I'm the director of the University of California Hansen Agricultural Research and Extension Center, which is in Camarillo. And I guess this is going forward. Yes. So you may remember that the Hansen Center used to be at the Faulkner Farm in Santa Paula. A couple of years ago, we moved to a new site in Camarillo on 114 acres. We were 27 acres before, now we're 114 on the Oxnard Plain. And one of the reasons was that we would be closer to California State University Channel Islands, which is developing a sustainable agricultural 4-year degree. And hopefully in the future, the student organic farm is going to be at our site. Other reason was to be in the area where the most valuable crops are grown, specifically strawberries, to be in a representative climate on the Oxnard Plain. And so our mission as this center is to conduct and support innovative research and education to promote the sustainability of agriculture, communities, and the environment in Ventura County and the larger Central Coast region. And more specifically, to develop science-based solutions to challenges in fruit and vegetable production in a coastal Mediterranean climate. And this would include new and improved crop varieties, disease and insect and weed management, irrigation and water conservation methods, plant nutrition, soil health, technological advances. So, however, we still need to build up our center. And right now, it's just land and a few farm buildings. And so in the future, we hope to have a research facility, and we're working closely, we're providing field space and support for researchers like the farm advisors at our site. And just for example, also we have demonstration field days. We have a cover crop and California Farm Demonstration Network project that we are doing together with the VCRCD, with John and Jamie, and as well as the Rodale Institute. So this is one of the things that we have. This is just a picture of our pollination, pollinator support cover crop next to our new avocado orchard. Mostly at the site, there used to be strawberries and celery and vegetables, cilantro. We are now establishing some orchards. One of them is a UC Riverside avocado variety trial, part of the breeding program. And we hope to have a lot more projects in future. I do want to mention that we are actually one of 9 research centers that cover the different ecological zones in California. We are actually the smallest and probably the most expensive per acre location. But like I said, the future plan is to develop this research facility that we really hope will attract a lot of appropriate research for Ventura County especially. Another thing that we recently had was an agricultural technology field day where we had different companies that demonstrated various technologies like a spray drone, for instance, a robotic weeder, smart irrigation valves and things like that. So we hope to have more such events in the future. So pay attention and be welcome to look, and you're welcome to visit us anytime as well. Another new thing that we have that Andre Biscaro actually installed is our weather station. So this should be, since we used to have a CIMMYS weather station, I think there's only one functioning CIMMYS weather station in the county. We're hoping to have additional sites where we can provide weather data for growers as well. So we have this one, and then there's another one Southland Sod on the Oxnard Plain, and we hope to have more weather stations in the future to help you in your irrigation decisions. So again, looking forward to really building our center out to be a premier research location. And like I said, we work with advisors here from the Extension Service, but we also have researchers from UC Davis, UC Riverside who are doing trials at our site. And we want to be a resource also in terms of education and reestablishing our farm field trip program. So thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out here. My name is Jacob Pachinka. I'm one of the research scientists at Rodale, and I'm up here, I think, mostly because I'm the loudest of us, but I'm also joined by Dr. Ariana Bazzola, who's the Pacific Research Director, and Danielle Chavez from the Organic Consulting Group. And if you're not familiar with the Rodale Institute, it started in Pennsylvania in the 1940s as informal research trials that grew into the longest standing institution studying organic agriculture. But as you probably know, the way farming is done in Pennsylvania is very dissimilar from agriculture in California. Weather's different, what you're growing is different, the economic conditions are different. And so that led the Rodale Institute to found regional resource centers, including the California Organic Center, which is just down 101 at the McGrath family farm. So right off of the central exit of 101, where we have been for the last couple of years trying to study regenerative and organic agriculture. And this is the big picture mission, focusing on scientific trials. We're studying what aspects of organic agriculture are challenging, how growers can navigate those challenges, how we can train growers into transition to organic, transition to adopt more sustainable and regenerative practices, and trying to educate on the benefits to human health. And this has a number of avenues that it can include: increasing biodiversity on the operation, not just the critters living in the soil, the crops that you're growing, non-crop habitat, and producing the most nutritious food possible while maintaining profitability and also considerations for worker welfare and other economic conditions. And our center, which is pictured here, and that is Phil McGrath, who is a source of expertise, being a multi-generational farmer before I think Ventura County was Ventura County. Not just him, his family. He's not quite that old. But our big picture missions are conducting research trials around crops that are relevant to California and addressing the challenges that are important to a California grower. I often somewhat joke, somewhat seriously say we have our trials. We're kind of pushing the boundaries. We're making mistakes in hopes that growers out here who have the best intentions to try new things can avoid those pitfalls or maybe learn from the mistakes that we have. We want to support California growers in a number of ways possible. A big part of that is the work that Daniel does, as well as other consulting group who they can take the expertise from the results of our trials as well as their own expertise and do site visits, provide resources to growers considering transitioning to organic, have equipment sharing, other resource opportunities, with the ultimate goal is increasing organic acreage in California and allowing growers to produce a sustainable product that also allows them to have a successful operation. And a number of us will be around. We have some resources here with some contact information that I welcome you to take advantage of. And once again, thank you for allowing us to be a part of this excellent event.
Hello, everyone, and I'll add a little bit more context for the consulting side because I'm the first community-based consultant that Rodale has hired. So what that means is that I'm focused on supporting community-based organizations that are direct service providers to farmers, and then also connecting the farmers to different parts of the food system, whether that's in the markets or aggregators, and supporting them, as well as the technical side. So by the end of next month, I'll be an organic inspector. So if you guys need that side of the support system of consulting, I'm here for that, or any OSPs. And so thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Bree Sliker, and I am a climate smart agriculture manager at the Community Environmental Council. Many of you may not have heard of us, but we are a nonprofit that's been around for 50 years in Santa Barbara and started with the first Earth Day after the 1969 oil spill. And I'm joined with my colleagues Matt and Camilla in the back, and we all work on agriculture projects. So just a few weeks ago, we started a new program that's a free program called the Central Coast Ag Link. You have heard about a lot of programs today from various agencies. So what we do is put them all together in one spot. And it's not a duplicative effort, but really trying to create this web of connection with everybody, understanding what the qualifications are, what's required of a grower, and helping them get the most out of their property. So this program's for new and seasoned growers and producers, also any kind of landowner that's looking to do conservation projects, and for our agency partners. How can we best pass off somebody to you? I did a scan earlier this year of the Healthy Soils program for the state funding of CDFA. And out of 2017 to 2023, Ventura and Santa Barbara counties have only received 2.5% of the millions of dollars that have gone through that program. So we're leaving money on the table, and I think it's just a high barrier entry for our growers. We're not knowing what's out there, what's available to us, and also the barrier to entry is pretty high. Applications take a long time, as we all know. So our team are trained in all of these state, federal programs, knowing the ins and outs, and we can provide direct technical assistance to help get you registered. And so our hope is to help you save time navigating the programs, increase your access to funding, and also just connect farmer to farmer networks more strongly. So here's a link for the Ag Link, how to get set up. I also have cards on the table available in both English and Spanish, and we give direct support in English and Spanish. And it's a 30-second intake form. Name of your operation, how you would like to get contacted, what county you're in, and what's your resource concern, whether it's compost, water, soil health, etc. And here's our card, so you can get free personalized support for your land base today, and one of our staff members will get in touch with you. Thanks.
All right. Good morning. My name's Joshua Curry, and I'm representing the Central Coast Soil Hub. So this is a collaboration of 4 resource conservation districts from San Luis Obispo County down to Ventura County. Our mission is to support resilient, sustainable agriculture in the Central Coast. And when we say sustainable, we mean both environmentally and economically sustainable. We want to make sure farmers and ranchers stay on the land and continue to manage it in the way that's best for themselves and this community. So some of the things we are doing by collaborating across the region is first trying to build up the capacity of the 4 resource conservation districts so that we can be better partners to agricultural producers and to the other organizations that work in this region. So we're trying to invest in our staff and our programs and make sure that we have reliable and consistent technical and financial assistance that we can provide. We also do a lot of collaboration with other organizations and producers. We call ourselves a hub because we want to be a central point of connection across all of the organizations and partners in this region so that we can really avoid duplicating efforts and really multiply all of the good things that are happening in this area. We're developing educational resources and doing whatever we can that will support the adoption of management that, like I said, is going to be both environmentally and economically sustainable for the long run. In terms of resources that might currently be of interest to the people in this room, one of our newest is a farmer funding database. And so this is kind of collecting information that's available in a lot of different places, filtering out anything that is not available directly to producers or is not available in our counties, and providing a more streamlined view with opening and closing dates, what these programs can fund, and how much funding is available. We also have a newsletter where we try and provide timely updates across the whole region. And then during the breakouts, I'll be gathering some feedback directly from you all. And that goes to make sure that the resources and the programs we develop are actually going to address the things that are most important to the farmers and ranchers that we really value and want to support. So thank you. And I look forward to talking more in the breakouts.
Other way. Hi, everybody. I'm Anna Jackson with Ventura County Farm to School. We're going to talk a little bit about what we do this morning. We are a nonprofit who mostly provides agriculture education to schools, students throughout the county. We've been around for a long time, but we've only been a nonprofit for a few years. So if you haven't heard of us, I hope you reach out to work with us in the near future. And if you're wondering what is Farm to School, it's really just, 3 main things. We want to help connect local farmers to our schools. We actually 2 years ago started a school food hub where we are purchasing food, aggregating food from about 15 small local farms between Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. And we're doing the work of delivering that to the school cafeterias. So if you're interested in selling your crops to school cafeterias, we are here to help you. And we're also working to teach kids about how incredible agriculture is. One of the best ways to do that is through school gardens. A lot of the kids call me the garden lady. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. But we help build school gardens where so many great learning things happen with students. One of our goals is also to help students learn about all of the amazing careers in agriculture, which all of the great work that you are all doing, everyone who's supporting farmers. We also just want to help foster an appreciation and love and support for farm and agriculture in our community. And it also, a really great side effect is it teaches our society, our kids to be healthier and make healthier choices. So it's a great way to teach kids about nutrition education when they're able to eat fresh, seasonal, local foods in their school meal programs. They're making healthier choices, and we grow so many incredible crops here in Ventura County. It makes sense that we're we're sharing those crops with our students. These are some of the farmers that are in our school food hub, and some of the crops we feature like a different crop seasonal every month, a harvest of the month. And I wanted to introduce some of my team.
Hi, my name is Genesis Mena. I'm a garden and nutrition educator at Ocean View School District. So I teach kids about food and gardening. And my favorite part, it has to be when a student has never tried a carrot and they try it for a first time and they're like, wow, this isn't so bad. So that's one of my favorite things that happens with working with food. And yeah, and then this is the other educator.
Hi, everybody. My name is Odalis Mena. I am also a garden and nutrition educator. I am working in Oak Park Unified School District over the grade. And my favorite part about teaching students about agriculture is maybe instilling a sense of pride in living in Ventura County, especially because we have some of the richest soil possibly, you know, on earth. And definitely, I think that it's very important because my parents used to be farm workers, not anymore, but I just think it's really cool for students to know where their food comes from and how it's grown, because then they're more likely to eat it and enjoy it and talk about it. So I just love hearing students talk about the fruit that they eat in the cafeteria or learning about the harvest of the month. So that's a big highlight about being an educator.
Thank you, everybody. And I'm also a farmer, I'm a citrus farmer. So thank you, everyone, for what you do. And thanks for everyone who supports the farms. And thank you, Resource Conservation, for organizing this today.
Good morning, everybody. I feel like we need some Wheel of Fortune music when we do our little runs up. And thank you for putting Anna Jackson in front of me, because my presentation is going to be a little bit similar. But my name is Chris Masson. I work for the CDFA, and we administer the Farm to School Incubator Grant Program. And so Anna Jackson, Ventura County Farm to School is a grant recipient, Ocean View, Oak Park. We've had a lot of districts in this region receive this grant, and farmers as well. I think Anna really just touched on the importance of farm to school. We have a health crisis going on in this nation. And I think connecting young kids, students to where their food comes from, getting the chance to grow it themselves, and then making, really healthy meals available in the cafeteria is something really, really important. And I think, for all the farmers out there, it doesn't have to just be selling to the school. We're always looking for farmers that want to host field trips, go into the cafeteria classroom, maybe be a mentor to some high school students who are in FFA or CTE programs. So high level CDFA, these are our major objectives, but really our program is dedicated to nurturing students, getting them the healthiest meals possible. A lot of people don't realize the National School Lunch Program and just school meals in general would be the largest restaurant in the US. I mean, we work with school districts who are, I think Oxnard Union High School District serves like 1.5 million lunches a year. So it is very big scale. And we also want the local farmers in the region to be able to access those market channels. This is our regional map. I'm the producer engagement specialist, so I cover from Ventura up to Santa Cruz. And this is something the state has been investing heavily in since 2020. That $900 million, that has been a lot towards like kitchen infrastructure. So getting schools cooking again. It's not just pizza and French fries anymore. I've toured a lot of schools and had delicious pozole with local cabbage, and school meals have really improved a lot. So it's been staff training, getting people, money to support local farms, so local food for schools. And then our grant, we've administered about $58 million. $80 million. And then the one thing we just found out with the new state budget passed July 1st, we're going to have another $20 million. So we're going to administer one more round of our grant. We have 4 different tracks. One's for school districts, nonprofits, early child care education centers, and farmers. So for all the farmers, I'll have my contact info. If you're interested, please reach out. But it's a great program. I mean, we fund coolers, tractors, help you pay rent, all kinds of things. Some of the support that I offer is really just connecting farmers to school districts and finding funding opportunities. We've built some tools. So like this is a map that you can access. This is kind of for a statewide scale in more rural areas, but it's an interactive map that you can go on and basically find local school districts in your area and get the contact information for the director so a farmer could reach out directly if that's what they wanted to do. And then a lot of it I'll kind of talk through, you know, the farm's kind of possibilities of selling to a school. We work with very, very small farms and large farms. There's not a one size fits all. Maybe somebody wants to work with a larger distributor, work with like a food hub, or just sell directly to the farm. So I kind of engage with the farmer and help them find what might be the right fit for them. And yeah, and there's my contact info. Thanks, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Melanie Cavaletto. I'm the president-elect for the California Women for Agriculture here in Ventura County. Our organization is also a nonprofit organization that started in 1975 in the state of California in the Coachella Valley. And this organization, it comprises of 5 districts and is the most active all-volunteer organization in the state. Our chapter was started in 1976 to promote and develop the interests of women in or interested in agriculture here in Ventura County. We do this by promoting a strong agricultural industry and throughout the state. We are one of 20 chapters from Butte County to California's southern border. Additionally, our chapter has been diligently working to empower, engage, and educate women throughout our county here in agriculture. And we help them from positioning to the forefront of our industry. We do it from the field to the boardroom, and our members are actively creating change in our county. The ways we do this is through education, advocacy, and legislation. We have monthly meetings in which we get to hear from the industry's professionals that come in and speak to us. We have the opportunity to go on industry tours. Some of the things that we've learned just this year alone has been on beneficial insects, row crops. We've had wildfire safety, which obviously has been a very hot topic in our county, cattle grazing, and the irrigated land and water issues. Additionally, we work with CoLab and the Farm Bureau so that way we can be updated on the local agricultural policies, so that way we can educate our members, so that way we can prepare them to go speak with our legislators. Another thing we like to do is we educate our youth throughout the county through outreach programs, scholarships, and our very new Youth Livestock Exhibitor Award. In 2024, our chapter teamed up with the Monte Vista Independent Learning Academy in Simi Valley and to hold a farm day. And during this time, it was a unique opportunity in which we had about 1,200 third grade students come into that school. And we brought in about 20 industries and businesses and organizations. And it was a lot of fun. Anna Jackson was there. We've had Driscoll there. So we've had a variety of different people come in and help us. The other thing that we do is we have our scholarship program. Here you see a slide of our 24 recipient. And we team up with the Topatoa Flywheelers Antique Gas Engine and Tractor Club, the Vanoni family, the Cavaletto family, and all of our amazing members through their donations. Without the partnerships, we would not be able to do what we do, and that partnership makes a significant difference in the lives of individuals from Ventura County. who want to further their education either through the collegiate route or through trade schools. And last year, we were really excited that we were able to hand out $5,000 in scholarships. This year, we are starting something new, and that is our Livestock Exhibitor Award. We're really excited about this. This is an award that's designed to provide financial support to the local youth here in Ventura County that are bringing their livestock projects to the Ventura County Fair. This is brand new. We're just starting it. We just started our program of our Double the Drive. And we have Beardsley and Son, who's going to team up with us to help match our program up to $2,500. The participation of having our youth learn about livestock projects is important for our future generations because it helps educate them in the care and management of animals that are intended for food and fiber projects. So we are, like I said, we just started this project, this drive, and we have some flyers here. If you're interested in helping to get these kids some money towards their projects, we would love to have you help us out. And like all the organizations that have been here today, we're always looking for individuals who would like to come and join us, who want to learn more about what's happening in our county. And I appreciate the time for you to let me speak today. Thank you.
Come join us at CWA. There's a powerhouse of ladies in that group. All right, next we have Rodrigo with the Ventura County Fire. He has some flyers that have been placed on the tables just for reference. Yep, okay. Oop, 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 oop. Go back, go back. Okay.
Well, good morning. Thank you for allowing me to kind of join you last minute here. I'm not on the agenda, but I'm very excited to be here. My name is Rod Torres. I'm going to leave some business cards up here. I work for the fire department. I'm very, very happy to be here. I have a bit of a personal connection with this group. You know, I was asked to who would be willing to come out and speak to this group. And, growing up on Sturgis Road and picking lima beans and green beans, I'm like, yeah, I connect with that group. And I know the value of farming in Ventura County. How can I be of service to this organization, this group, and all of you here? And today, what I'd like to do is just talk a little bit about some of the issues that we've been seeing, some of the trends, specifically those related to mulching. That's kind of the focus of this quick, discussion. Obviously, I'm going to break out. I'll be joining Group 5, the regulation and safety group. So if there's additional questions, we'll go ahead and address those. Specific to mulching, I understand it's a great process to help with farming and ag and water conservation, but there are some inherent risks with that. The internal temps can reach 200 degrees plus, and then we have a pile that spontaneously combusts. So how do we manage that risk with the benefits that it provides? We did develop a flyer, which there's some in the back. There's a couple here. We're going to make sure that gets sent out to the group. My apologies for not having it available on the screen here, but it's pretty simple. We have done some research and reviewed some of the other best practices, and keeping the pile size smaller and spreading it as quickly as possible is the simplest thing you can do to mitigate the risk of having a pile spontaneously combust. So the other thing that you might want to consider is how much of it do you keep on site? Do you want to stage it slowly and have it, come in groups? That might not be applicable to the row crops, but definitely for our friends that are doing orchards, that can be an issue. Access is an issue. If they're piled too close to the roadways, then that can be an issue for us. We do share a lot of common concerns with drought, wildfire. The lack of water is a resource that we both depend on. And hopefully, my intent is to just partner up and get a better understanding of what the needs are for this group so that our department can do what we can to help you. Everyone understands, I think, the emergency response side. You see the yellow trucks, the red trucks responding to medical emergencies. But we also provide the fire prevention services. If I didn't say that clearly, I do work in the fire prevention branch of the fire department. As an assistant fire marshal, my goal is to ensure that your operations run safe and they're viable, and that we provide this much needed industry to our communities. So with that, I leave you. Thank you for your time. Once again, my business card is up here. That is my cell phone. Direct, call me, send me a message. Be more than happy to go out, meet you on site if you have any questions regarding this. Burn permits, thank you for doing an excellent job in explaining the burn permits. The Ag Pass program, access to your orchards and farms. I think we all are aware that, there are additional security measures being put in place, and I respect that and understand that. Just be aware that in the event of an emergency that does delay us, there's ways to accommodate that. We have special locking devices that only the fire department has access to expedite access into your properties in the event of an emergency. All topics we can discuss at the breakouts. Thank you for your time.